We're doing horrible
Uh,
because of no sound. We have sound now.
oh, so
Hi.
we didn't have sun before?
No. I'm Chris
Oh,
Hunter. No sound. We have sound now.
oh, so
Hi.
we didn't have sun before?
No.
It's repeating.
Yeah, I turned it off.
Okay. Um, so I'm Bryn Wright, and our names are at the bottom. Actually, my initial is at the bottom of the screen, but we are Dark to Light Media, and our purpose here. This is so confusing. I've got sound in both ears with different things because the phone.
Oh,
Um, Mute your phone.
yes, ma'am.
See, this is the problem with live media. Um, so anyway, our purpose of being here with Dark to Light Media is to bring to light all of the hidden things that have been covered over time, meaning covered up over time, and bringing them to light in truth and in justice. Is there anything you would add to that, Chris?
I would say that things are not as they appear, and a lot of people will understand that, and we will help define that and hopefully show you some connecting tissues, people, and events so it becomes more of a 40, 50, 80,000 foot view of understanding.
Yeah, definitely. So on Mondays, what we plan to do is just a weekend recap of all of the things that have kind of gone on from the end of the week through the weekend. So I'm sure everybody saw the massive hurricane that hit Louisiana over the weekend. It was a category 450 mile per hour storm that has just catastrophically devastated the, I don't want to call it New Orleans area, but I would say just southwest of New Orleans and northeast up through New Orleans and onward into Mississippi is the path of it right now. And right now, there's about 1 million people without electric. One person has been declared deceased, and Ida has been now deemed one of the most um, powerful storms to hit the US in history. And, Chris and I often talk about the Mandela effect, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Mandela effect? I don't even know what that means. And I can remember sitting in an ICU waiting room 16 years ago, and my grandmother passed away 16 years ago, and we were just watching Katrina approaching and getting ready to hit over to into New Orleans, and we knew it was going to be terrible. And I, for some reason, remember them talking about how bad and how big. I mean, it was a huge storm. Katrina was huge, but I feel like they were talking about how strong it was. The storm surge and the storm winds were so huge and all of that kind of stuff. So it's just so weird just to know that Katrina was only 130 miles an hour. She was only a category 3, and this one was a category 4. And basically, what they're dealing with right now is that overnight they had one levee failure in um, Alliance, Louisiana, and then that one is south of New Orleans, and then they had another one in um, Lafitte. I'm not good with these names. Lafitte, and then Jean Lafitte
Lafayette.
areas. It's well, no, because it's Lafitte.
Uh,
Yeah, that's what I was like. Did they typo that? Because I don't know. I don't know. But so there's Lafitte, and then there's Jean. I'm going to go with Jean Lafitte. So that's something going on there.
I'm showing the radar right now.
Yes, it's. I mean, it's still huge. You can still see like kind of there's still kind of a half eye wall going on. And then the back area, which is where you don't want to be, because that's where all the, that's where all the winds are coming. That's where it's strongest. Being from Florida, I have a fair amount of experience with which side of that hurricane you want to be on, and it's never on the left side of that storm. Because that's what's pushing the water into your area, up the rivers, into, up into the bays. But another curious phenomena happened with this one, and Chris and I talked about this last night. It actually reversed the flow of the Mississippi River, because as it was approaching, it stopped the Mississippi River from flowing into the Gulf of Mexico,
Right.
which then caused it to reverse altogether. So I thought that was really interesting to find that out. I'm kind of a bit of a weather geek, so they say spaghetti models, and I'm like, spaghetti models, which was interesting when Chris found that out about me. So do you have a picture of that radar?
Yep, we've been watching it the whole time.
Okay. Do you want to show it?
Oh, yeah, I've been showing it the whole time. Instead of us, it's been the radar.
Oh, okay, cool. And then in California, I don't know how far away are you from not Calbury, Strawberry, California?
I am, good question, because they call Oro Grande the strawberry capital of the world, but apparently it's not.
That'd be us.
Hmm?
That'd be us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
about 10 minutes.
Really? It's only
Yeah.
10 minutes from you?
Hmm.
Okay, so is it, I guess, really smoky where you are right now?
It's what?
Is it really smoky where you are?
There's an orange tint to the air and sunlight.
Okay. Well, they're saying that the Caldor fires that are in Strawberry, California are threatening the, I guess, the California side of Lake Tahoe. So, I mean, I know I sent you a picture of the fire map earlier, because for some reason it's like that whole Pacific Standard Time zone just seems to just be all red.
Yep.
And so what seems to be the catalyst this time of year for fires like that?
Piss poor management,
Yeah.
what I would say. I mean, seriously, I think that
Hmm.
things could be handled a lot better than is being done. I'm going to pull it up here in a second. I'm going to show you the fires. Have another map for that. Well, show the audience. And you see a big plume of smoke right there. And let's see here. Natural fires.
Hmm.
I think I could screen share at the same time. Don't know. We'll try it though. You can see what I'm seeing.
Okay, yeah.
So those are pretty big fires right there. And a lot of smoke coming off of them.
Yeah.
It looks like
Yeah.
this
Oh,
whole,
yeah, I do see that. That's a
so
that's a pretty small one.
there's one north of there too. Go like that. Yep, pretty good fire there. Little one over here. That's strange. Always find it strange when they light on fire in a sequence.
Mm-hmm. It was like boom, 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 boom.
It's like
Yeah.
a pyro.
Show the US map that shows everything. Well, no, the one I sent you.
Is that in Telegram?
Telegram, yeah.
Okay. Just a picture.
I know. It's just a picture of all the fires.
Okay.
Sorry, it's not interactive
Um,
because it's supposed to be just like click, and then we're going on to something else.
yeah, it's not working that easy. So,
You have to get out of this screen share and share to the other.
okay.
Yeah.
There you go. Wow. No bueno.
Yeah, it's a lot. Do you still have that up?
No, it's looking at us now. You said screen share us. Is that what we're doing?
I wanted you to share it for everybody.
What would you like me to share? Sorry.
The fire map of the US. I want you to show that to the people that are watching.
Okay. There you go. There's your fire map. So, and
Um,
that said, a lot on fire.
it is. So you're saying all of that is because they don't take care of the underbrush?
Right. They haven't been doing a good job with the underbrush, and then
Mhm.
built up a lot of fuel for that. The Native Americans used to, at wintertime, into winter, they would light backfires as they left, so it would all burn. And they haven't been doing anything like that. So it's been getting pretty doggone thick.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
Well, it makes for a better, clearing of people.
Mm.
You don't want them sticking around when you want to, get everybody into the dense city populations. Um, let's see here. Oh, I see you're in the chat there. Tyrone's on.
Yes, he is. And thankfully, he
Is he okay?
actually, yeah, no, he's fine. He wasn't in New Orleans, actually. He missed his bus in Birmingham,
Oh,
Alabama.
okay.
So I was like, oh my gosh, Chris told me you didn't get out of Louisiana. So he did get out safely. He just missed the bus in Birmingham, but when I messaged him last night, he actually was on a bus. That's why he was hoping we were going to stream last night so that he
Oh,
had probably something that he could listen to instead of just the hum of the bus.
yes.
So yeah, we tried so hard last night, Tyrone. I promise. It was just not happening with my cable provider, or my internet provider, I should say. Um, but so we've talked about Hurricane Ida, and we've talked about the Caldor fires, which kind of sounds like a little bit of Hodor from Game of Thrones,
Yep.
which Chris has discovered more recently is one of the favorite shows I had back. Oh my gosh, what was it? 2018. When did
Yeah.
that start?
I want to say, yeah, probably about that, right, somewhere in there. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because it was the same year I had surgery, and somebody was like, "Oh my gosh, you have to watch this. This is the most ridiculously great show ever." So, I mean, I binge watched it because I was so far behind. So no, maybe I didn't start watching it until 2019, and then I binge watched the entire every season up until it was the last season, the
Oh,
final season, in a week.
that I think,
Not healthy.
well, not healthy, but it's much more fun when you have somebody else doing it with you. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, most definitely a lot more fun.
Hmm.
Um,
Wow, that's a pretty
so
big eye.
what?
That kept the eye pretty steady there as it came on land.
Yeah, the path of Ida
Yeah.
was
Yep.
very slow, very steady, very tight.
Hmm.
Um, very tightly woven eye wall structures. I mean, the spaghetti models nailed that one. I mean, they did a great job forecasting that. And a lot of people heeded the warnings this time. I mean,
Good.
Louisiana isn't going to play, especially New Orleans, like Pontchartrain. They're not going to play around with hurricanes anymore after Hurricane Katrina. They're
Right.
just not. It's not worth the risk. That I mean, that was devastating. And I think there's somewhere around. It's either I want to say there. It's either 1270 or 1720 children
Oh, wow.
still missing from when Hurricane Katrina happened. And that
Yikes.
was 16 years ago yesterday. And so if those children were separated from their families when that happened, because like the buses were full and, mom went here, dad went here, and, in the shuffle, people were just getting, just go on this bus, mom will be there when you get there. And then they ended up having to be diverted somewhere else. Because I think that did happen when it went to one bus went to, or a group of buses went to the Houston Convention Center versus like the Dallas Convention Center. And it just became this big, big mess. And so they there are no answers about where did those children go. And that was something that Nancy Schaefer was trying to bring attention to before she um, died.
Yeah, it was a weird situation there.
Yeah, definitely weird because both she and her husband um, are no longer with us.
Yeah. Did you want me to talk about the bulletin from the National Terror Advisory System?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
So, we have a National Terror Advisory System that's advising that there might be some domestic terrorism attacks because people are congregating in forums and delving into misinformation, disinformation, and conspiracy theories. And they don't believe the election was,
Fraudulent.
they think it was fraudulent. They don't think it was fair. Yeah. So those people automatically are terrorists. So,
It's so funny. I
yep,
was saying that just the other day.
yep. Huh.
Like, there's no reason why we need to go digging up somebody's past on a school board because, sure, go fight for your kids, but don't go fighting with somebody's past from 20 years ago because it's going to be hard enough to battle these, school boards because we don't want them looking at us and trying to pull anything, pull any BS on us and be like, "Oh, you're a domestic terrorist."
Well,
No, we're not. We're researchers and writers and independent journalists. We're business owners. We're small business owners,
right.
veterans. I mean, what?
Yeah. Yeah. And as a veteran myself that has fought in Iraq for an entire stinking year, for me to be told that I'm considered to be a domestic terrorist because I talk about things that are true and don't pass
Oh.
lies. I only talk about stuff I can prove, or I start with, "This is my opinion. I don't
Right.
know, but I think." And I can talk wherever I want and say what I want because it's still protected speech.
Right.
Even if it's stupid hate speech, I could still do that. Now, for them to be worried about what I'm saying, where I'm saying it, and conspiring or telling, according to them, misinformation or disinformation, that's BS. It's none of their effing business.
Hmm.
Like, if we wanted to play that game, then a lot of those same guys would be. Because all the points that they're using are actually points that the Democratic Party and some Republicans are using for talking points that are absolute straight out lies. And if we held Congress to the same standard as everybody else, we'd had less congressmen.
Yeah, I agree.
So that's just my point.
So is that the only thing that the bulletin said?
He said that it's discouraging any kind of gatherings or celebrations around the 20th anniversary of September 11th because people might take advantage of that situation to air their grievances and be disruptive, like Black Lives Matter or Antifa. You know,
Hmm.
those people who actually did those things and actually are on those platforms plotting against the government and causing riots. Like, riots, you can actually arrest somebody for causing a riot.
Right. No, you can. Absolutely. 100%.
Yep. So it's not an even application of the law, and that's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's selective, and for instance, the person known as the vice president,
Mm-hmm.
she herself helped bail people out of prison or jail for committing action during a riot. Do you know that if I were to spray you with a chemical weapon, like pepper spray,
Mhm.
CS gas, whatever, that would be a felony assault against you?
Yeah.
But these knuckleheads do it all the time because nobody's doing anything about it.
Yeah.
So
And it's bear. What is it called? It's bear mace, right?
it's capsin. Capsin? It's the pepper spray. Some of it's bear spray
I don't
for.
even know. I don't even want to know how they make bear mace.
They have to squeeze them in that little bottle.
Come over here.
Yep.
Stand there. And
Squeeze them in the bottle.
just like that. Um, it's just crazy.
Yep. So some of the fun words they use are these actors are increasingly exploiting online forums to influence and spread violent extremist narratives and promoting violent activity. Really? Huh. But
Isn't that interesting?
they get into the nitty
Oh,
gritty
Corona
here.
Roadshow is in here. Is that Andy DeBala?
Such threats are also exacerbated by impact of the ongoing global pandemic, including grievances over public health safety measures and perceived government restrictions. Perceived?
Not sure they're just perceived. It's actually real.
Have you lost your freaking mind over?
Uh,
And
so,
let's
yeah.
let's just get over this real quick here, and then we'll move on to Afghanistan because it leads into it. They're like, oh, Al Qaeda might do something. Okay, let's get very clear on this. The United States government, under Barack Hussein Obama, trained, outfitted, funded, and supported Al Qaeda and ISIS.
Anybody else?
Okay, just so we're clear, I want to make sure you can see my face, get the facial recognition real good. That's what I'm saying. Because that's what we did.
Well, so
Taliban right now are being trained and set up for a false flag event that they're going to create here in America. And they're, oh, the Taliban did it. That's why they left all the frickin' munitions and guns and equipment. Sorry.
that's actually Aaron. Hey, Aaron. Okay, so okay, so you just brought up a good point. So you're saying that Obama did something like that a couple years ago, right? And then now we've got this situation now in Afghanistan where, according to Trump, it totaled out to be something like 85, I think, trillion. It wasn't million. It had more
Billions.
zeros than
Billions.
It was a million?
Billions.
Billions. Okay. So $85 billion worth of what? Uniforms, munitions, weaponry,
Yep. Helicopters,
aircraft.
planes, tanks. Yeah.
Yeah, they have enough to have their own air force.
Now, to preface this correctly, before Obama, the Bushes and Clintons were training, and all the way back to Reagan, Al Qaeda.
Hmm.
Okay, so that we need to be fair. It's not just one. It's been a long line of suckers.
Yeah.
And the one that stopped doing that, for the most part, was Trump. And he had some people not working with him, working against him, like Kushner and the DOD parts of them, and the CIA
And Schiff.
weren't helping. The same. But he put a big dent in him. That's like one of the articles. The article there from the Homeland Security says that Al Qaeda published their first edition in 4 years of their terrorist magazine. I wonder why for 4 years they didn't have a
Terrorist
magazine.
magazine.
Yeah.
I wonder what that has in it.
Huh.
Like,
And just out of nowhere,
how to
4 years.
wait. So they have a terrorist magazine. Does it have in there things like how to black block?
Ooh, did you say the magic word?
I did.
Yeah.
Ooh. Hmm.
Online. Huh.
Huh.
God, I wonder what that looks like.
I don't know. You may very well have a video link somewhere in your Telegram on that.
Oh, I've got videos of that. But I also have.
No, but the most recent one where it's the join the A group now by the guy who was arrested and then allowed to go home instead of sitting inside of solitary confinement since January 13th.
Oh yeah, that poor guy.
God.
Jake. Yep.
Yep.
What I was going to show you, though.
A Navy veteran sitting in solitary confinement since January 13th.
I was going to show you is this document right here from Rand, and about how. Share this with you. Sorry.
Are you sharing it with
Yeah.
all the people?
With you and them out there. Yeah.
Okay.
So this is Rand.
Raphael
Just
Cohen. Mustag. Oh, wow, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Combating foreign. So that's our government, and we have some friends of ours that help out.
Yeah.
And
Ooh, that was a curious paragraph. Research integrity.
yeah, well that I'm going to slip to the good stuff here.
No, you're fine.
So this is kind of the operations they want to do. It's kind of their little figure for it. Misinformation.
Yeah.
Disinformation. Foreign disinformation.
Mm-hmm.
Foreign produced disinformation on social media.
Yeah.
Shh,
Wow.
don't tell anyone. And yeah, like Americans never were able to figure that out before until these smart guys came along and said, "Hey, we should break it down for them and protect them from it." So these are the people they wanted to thank, and these are I wanted to get to here. So what it's showing you is all the different organizations and government ones also that have special cyber teams that work on this stuff to present it, and stop it. Okay. Now you need to understand that they're both operations going on.
Right.
Atlantic Council. Huh. Those are good guys, right? Center for New American Security. I'm sure those are good guys too. Farce Book. Huh. Gee, wonder what they'd have to do with that. Could you influence society and their mood every single day through social media? Yep, you sure can.
You sure can, and you can influence an election that way too by completely blocking out one candidate over another.
Right. You know, it's strange with President Trump getting kicked off of Facebook. I mean, like, right? I mean, let's get it straight. So, President Trump gets kicked off Facebook for saying things he shouldn't say. But then Biden comes along and they're like, "What would you like us to do, sir?" "Oh, okay. got it right away. You want to see everything they say in their DMs and their monitor their phones for you? Okay, we can do that, sir.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and write that executive order.
What the hell, man? Nothing like, hey,
Swiper, no swiping.
you're out of here too, buddy. No, no. It's like, yes, sir. 3 bags full? Okay, I got that.
Yeah.
I got 3 bags.
Yeah, no. And I mean, let's be honest.
John Hopkins School. Son of a bitches.
No, oh wait, let's be fair. That is a very good school.
They're really good at all terrorist scrapping, doing change of function on frickin' viruses. You're right.
But they are also a very good medical school. Johns Hopkins has some of the best
I,
doctors coming out
I,
of it.
I've seen their work. It is really good. I'm not saying it's not. But I'm saying is it's not all good. It's not good for America always.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we can't forget some other organizations that work with us. South Korea, Taiwan, Ukraine, because those guys are great. They really helped out a lot with that whole fake Charlottesville thing. What's that? Fake? Yeah, that's a whole nother episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if they have like a big binder of like, no, that one was already done. No, that one's not interesting enough. No, they'll believe that, that one won't fly. It's too simple. It's too basic. It's too pumpkin spice latte for them, you know. And then they get to this other, part of the binder. They go, ooh, this one looks good. Let's try this false flag and see if they buy it.
Yeah.
Like, at what point aren't we going to be like, oh, wow, that actually happened? Oh, now I see a familiar name.
Yeah. So Obama administration Deputy National Security Advisor Jerkhead, and
Be nice. Nice
state.
words.
It's a jerkhead, and then I said and Deputy of Secretary of State of another Anthony Blinken, often fond of saying that superpowers don't bluff. Huh? That's weird. It's a weird thing to say.
That is a weird thing to say.
Yeah, especially when like you're letting the Taliban do security around your airport.
Yeah.
That's weird.
A kernel of truth lies at the core of many of the most successful because
Yeah. Funny?
because in every lie there's a kernel of truth.
Right.
God.
Yep. Shazam. So, anyways, it goes into all sorts of stuff in there on how to do the little psyop games, and like Adam Schiff likes to say, they are radicalized on TV, on internet, on extreme forums like the Sunrise Group. Those sons of bitches, they really plotted a coup against the
Yeah.
president with guns and taking over buildings and doing the whole thing. They plotted the coup, and we're not hearing a thing. Millie Weavers, she brought it out there. She's all, hey, here it is. See,
Yeah,
look.
here's the AFL-CIO. It's right here, guys. Look at it.
Oh,
And
don't
actually,
say the AFL-CIO, yeah, MLMP, because we
ABC
might
1,
actually
2, 3. ABC.
we might actually
Easy.
name them
1,
and
2, 3.
identify them and Workers World United group,
Ah,
the ever elusive ones, because we can't do that. Or we can't even point out the fact that the same stuff they used with George Floyd and the information they used there was the same stuff they used in 1965 in the race riots. Well, they were sponsored by
true.
the Chinese, just like now.
So it's so easy, and that's what's so bad about it. It's so easy to get us spun up about stuff because everybody's passionate. And back when George Floyd happened, it was Memorial Day weekend. At that point, we had been locked down since what? Spring break. So was that mid to late March?
Yeah,
So
something like that.
April, May. So 2 months after being told 15 days to slow the spread, everybody was pretty much over that. And just give us a reason to come outside, basically. And
Right.
yeah, I remember just watching that and thinking, oh, this is gonna go so bad. but there were just so many inconsistencies in even that. Um, by chance, Chris, do you have a like a, I can't remember what it's called, like a transition for like a break and just play a song
Yeah.
and take a break real quick? Do you have like one of those slides?
It'll say probably stream will start in a few minutes.
No, I don't want that one. Is there a different one that you can do with like something else that says like intermittent, not intermission, but quick break, enjoy the music?
I could make one up real quick.
Maybe pick a llama, the Dalai Lama.
Here, I got a perfect one.
Hey, you want to go on a trip?
Sure, where are we going?
Oh, no, that's, you just have to say sure.
Sure.
I'll pack a bag. You want to go on a picnic?
Oh,
I'll pack a lunch.
alpaca.
Alpaca. Oh, parent jokes are the funniest ones. And I was actually talking to Patrick Berge last night, and we were talking about basically people management and everything you need to know about how to manage people. People 101. You learn with becoming a parent.
Yep.
It is so true. Yeah, they
You,
say like kids don't come with manuals and you can't take them back, you can't put them back in. But
no, can't.
when you're a parent, you learn how to manage other people. So it was a really interesting analogy to put it that way. So I really we were laughing about that because he said something and I was like, you sound just like my 14-year-old. Actually, Noah never whines. I said, you sound just like my 15-year-old because at least one or two of those whine at me. So that's always fun. But when we do come back, we're going to talk about, I know we touched on Afghanistan a little bit. We're going to touch about something that happened this morning. And I posted on my Twitter that I was going to make it a point to honor the 13 members of our U.S. military that we lost on Thursday last week. And that's exactly what we're going to do. And in my Twitter message that I put out about our stream, I did include the brother of one of our fallen heroes and said that we would be honoring his brother in our stream today. So I do intend to do that. And given that Chris is a military veteran himself, he can explain a lot about, being in a war zone, a combat zone, what those kinds of things are like when you're dealing with people that are suicide bombers, people that are, just that kind of situation.
Yep.
This has been realistically, I remember being 12 years old probably, and bombs over Baghdad happened. But this particular war, I feel, has been happening since, this is the post 9/11 war that began with, I think, George Bush Sr. or Jr.
Um, Senior. Yeah. Well, senior started the first war, but junior was sent to send.
Okay. So Sr. was the bombs over Baghdad, and then Jr. was post 9/11.
Right.
Got it. So those are the things that we're going to be talking about. Get a little bit of military feedback on there. I'm going to shoot a message and see if I can get somebody else to join our chat.
Okay. Almost got the coffee break up.
Okay. Yeah. So it's
That's ready to go when you.
okay. Yeah, it's just casual Monday. Do you have more songs, or do you just have those two same ones?
I have 3 songs.
Okay, so three songs. Can you just have them on continuous loop? Like,
I don't
will
know,
they?
but I could try switch it.
No, I'm just saying, like, will it just play all three and then loop back to the first?
It might.
Okay, we're using a different we're using Restream for the first time, so we're trying to see how this works, if it's better. I'm hoping it's better.
Me too.
Um, oh, hi. You're on TV again.
I am.
Um, so yeah, so we're trying to figure it all out. And this is officially like our first live stream, like out to everybody, like announced on Twitter, like everywhere. And so yeah.
Okay.
So we'll be right back in a few minutes or so,
Sounds
and
good.
enjoy the music. Go get something to drink, maybe a bowl of popcorn or
Cup of coffee.
a cup of coffee. We'll be back soon.
I'll never tell, just trust that I'll keep it locked in a cell. Never revealing no secrets you're keeping, these promises strong as a spell. I'll never tell.
Yeah, I like you, that's for sure. Never have to close the door. Been a long time, a year before, and I'm missing you so bad. Gone away a month or more. Every show I go before, need to hear that voice, cause right now feels like it's been too long. I could never let you go on thinking about those secrets true. And I would never bet the world that I would find anyone like you.
I'll never tell, just trust that I'll keep it locked in a cell. Never revealing no secrets you're keeping, these promises strong as a spell. I'll never tell.
You're an angel, that's for sure. With some devil, hear you roar. But I like it, we on the floor. In my ear, be whispering. Used to have fun, now I'm bored. Do I miss you? Yes, of course. Think about that time when we stayed up all night talking. I could never let you go on thinking about those secrets true. And I would never bet the world that I would find anyone like you.
I'll never tell, just trust that I'll keep it locked in a cell. Never revealing no secrets you're keeping, these promises strong as a spell. I'll never tell. I'll never tell, just trust that I'll keep it locked in a cell. Never revealing no secrets you're keeping, these promises strong as a spell. I'll never tell.
Yeah, I like you, that's for sure. Never have to close the door. Been a long time, a year before, and I'm missing you so bad. Gone away a month or more. Every show I go before, need to hear that voice, cause right now feels like it's been too long. I could never let you go on thinking about those secrets true. And I would never bet the world that I would find anyone like you.
I'll never tell, just trust that I'll keep it locked in a cell. Never revealing no secrets you're keeping, these promises strong as a spell. I'll never tell. Oh, it's true. Oh, it's true. It's true. Oh, it's true. Oh, it's true. Oh, it's true. Oh, it's true. It's true. Oh, it's true. Oh, it's true. You're an angel, that's for sure. With some devil, hear you roar. But I like it, we on the floor. In my ear, be whispering. Used to have fun, now I'm bored. Do I miss you? Yes, of course. Think about that time when we stayed up all night talking. I could never let you go. Go on thinking about those secrets true. And I would never bet the world that I would find anyone like you. I'll never tell. Just trust that I'll keep it locked in a cell. Never revealing no secrets you're keeping. These promises strong as a spell. I'll never tell. Oh, it's true. Oh, it's true. It's true. Oh, it's true. Oh, it's true. Oh, it's true. Oh, it's true. It's true. Oh, it's true. Oh, it's true. I'll never tell. Just trust that I'll keep it locked in a cell. Never revealing no secrets you're keeping. These promises strong as a spell. I'll never tell.
Yeah, I like you, that's for sure. Never have to close the door. Been a long time, a year before, and I'm missing you so bad. Gone away a month or more. Every show I go before, need to hear that voice, cause right now feels like it's been too long. I could never let you go on thinking about those secrets true. And I would never bet the world that I would find anyone like you.
I'll never tell. Just trust that I'll keep it locked in a cell. Never revealing no secrets you're keeping. These promises strong as a spell. I'll never tell.
You're an angel, that's for sure. With some devil, hear you roar. But I like it, we on the floor. In my ear, be whispering. Used to have fun, now I'm bored. Do I miss you? Yes, of course. Think about that time when we stayed up all night talking. I could never let you go on thinking about those secrets true. And I would never bet the world that I would find anyone like you.
I'll never tell. Just trust that I'll keep it locked in a cell. Never revealing no secrets you're keeping. These promises strong as a spell. I'll never tell.
And we have sound again, Captain. Well, hello. So what we're going to do is we're going to look into a little bit of what I do. I do some IP investigation type stuff, history, servers and computers and stuff like that, websites and so on, see where they belong to, where they originated from, so we could track down who some of the various characters are out there. And mute my phone. So, and doing that, I will have to change screens, Captain. And there you go. So, let's, for instance, here, this wonderful company called Dominion Vote. Excuse me. Got me all choked up. Right? So there's a cloud of mystery around them. Who are they? What are they doing? So what I would do with this is I would grab the name here and go to one of my favorite companies here. There we go. And I would put their information in here. And this is a website that is free to anyone who wants to do it. And they encourage you, if you are a at-home investigator for yourself, you want to do research on cyber attacks or whatever it is you're doing or are involved in, they encourage you to come do that as an individual. And they're extremely, probably the best IT place to look at the backbone of where something's riding on. So like right now, Dominion Vote is going through Texas, which is really funny because up until recently, they weren't going through Texas, but is that normal? We'll see here. I have some pictures. Not those, obviously, but those actually were part of it. So like this was Dominion Vote's server IP address during the January runoffs in Georgia. Okay. So, and during that was going on, they were going through Serbia. So Dominion servers were going through Serbia at the time. As it was happening, they took the screenshot of the date and time. January 5th, they're having the runoff. And they're streaming everything was going to Serbia. Their servers were connected. I got all their analytics and stuff like that, and other stuff besides this was just to show you, for instance. So if we're doing an election here in America, why is it going to another country? And this is a history of the Who's on it, and this will give you all their different changes they did to their website, where it was registered to. So in it changed 136 times, but 43 times was 2020. 43 times. That's crazy. Like here's 2019, only 7 times. And this is 10 times. Obviously, you know, they're easy, Wilbur. So another great website to go to. Domain tools. That'll give you all your domain stuff. You see that? So that's not usual for a company to be doing that. This was the actual first poll that I did, and I was like, hey, that's weird. And this was 2 days after the election, and they're still figuring everything out and calculating and tabulating and fraudulating. And this is what I'm saying that needs to be investigated, is these connections to Serbia. Obviously, this is where they do their writing their code for their operating system, which is really strange. You know, they say it's all based in America, but it's not. It's in several countries. More records again. upgraded, updated, expires. Their information. So here's one that's kind of really bothering me is, as you can see here, November 13th, this is when the scan was done to capture this. It could have been happening on the 12th, the 1st, the 2nd, the 3rd, whatever day, but this is when they scanned it last in November, or the first time in November, and it was the 13th. So on the 13th, you see the IP is just way different than the other ones, but it's going to Israel. Israel, okay? Huh. And this is the 13th again, but at a different time. A few minutes later, it's going through Canada. And on the 17th, it's going through Canada again, but a different IP address. And then here we go again, it's going through Israel, but that's even a different IP address than the first Israel. So what the hell's going on here? Then of course United States, then there's some private deal. We don't know what it was doing, and that's a way different IP address. So that's, in my opinion, reason to have questions on what the hell's going on with the voting systems. And here are some other ones where it went in January, 2017, 2018. You see it's not consistently staying in one place. It's going all over the place. It's not staying in our country. And we need this stuff to be staying in our country for us. Moving around is no good. You can see it's Belgrade again. This was just the other day, but it's even changed since then. And you can see here it's a couple different countries, Germany, United States. But I found this part next, and I tried to find a linking contributor between everything, and this is what I found. This nice little organization here. And these are all affiliates, my bad, affiliates. And some of the affiliates really are questionable because we got, Facebook and Amazon and HackerOne, election system software, Ingalls Information Security, Microsoft. There's a lot of companies here. Oh, Dominion and Smartmatic. Interesting. DocuSign. So what is this? This is a list of affiliate companies that belong to this company here that happens to take care of the election process between the secretaries of states of each state and the federal government. What did I say again? Yeah, they help facilitate the communications between the secretaries of state and the secretary of states of the United States for election stuff. Wow, that sounds weird. So all these guys in here are in charge of that stuff and election stuff, and that's what they do. And they're some of the same culprits that we could easily see working together. And this is the link saying that they not only work together, but they're in a system that affects it. That's pretty freaking weird, man. Matter of fact, that's a no-go. So that's one of the problems here. Hold on a second. Hi, I'm streaming. What's up?
Just gonna say, Brendan texted me saying he was sorry, and that
I can't hear you. What?
Brendan said he was sorry, and that tomorrow we can go in, and then we can stay after school.
Okay.
On a bus.
Okay. Well, there we go. Sorry about that. So, that's one of the things that I found here, and it's really disturbing, in my opinion.
I happen to agree. It's definitely really weird.
And we're going to have in California another election here in a week or so. And why are we using Dominion Vote? Like, there's a ton of them. Over 90% of them in California are that way. And in California, for the presidential election, we had 50 counties out of 58 that had 65% or higher.
Mhm.
Okay, so what that means is in a regular election, and 65 is high. That's a really good turnout.
Mhm.
Okay, but the next bump up was like 40 counties were 70% or more.
Right. And I think, didn't you tell me there was one area that had 110% turnout? It was like, huh? How do you
It,
get 110% turnout to vote?
yeah, like for the 2016 election, they had more people turning out to vote than there were legal people to be eligible to vote.
Mm-hmm.
And then my question is like, well, how do you make that many ballots?
Right.
Because the ballot guy, the contractor, has to crank out only so many ballots, and you got to say, okay, well, 75% is going to show up and cut that, but 100%, 110%, that's a lot of ballots. How do they know to make that many? That's my
Yeah,
thing.
definitely.
So, yeah, so we're, yep.
It sounds awesome. And that is why you are really great at being the IP hunter.
Well, they make it easy because they're dumb and they break their own rules.
Very true. Very true. So we're ready to hit up some military projects.
Um, the stuff in Afghanistan and stuff.
Yeah.
Sure, we can talk about them.
All right. So obviously Thursday last week there was the um I don't even know, suicide bombers and all that kind of stuff that happened, and then I guess it was a drone strike. I don't remember because there's been two more since, because there was one yesterday and then one today.
Yeah,
So I don't know the exact logistics of what happened last Thursday, but um, yesterday there was an airstrike, an over the horizon airstrike onto a vehicle that was suspected of being a suicide bomber. It allegedly had multiple people in it. One apparently was wearing a suicide bombing vest. And when the missile or whatever they launched hit the vehicle, it exploded, and then the secondary explosion from all of the explosives in the vehicle caused there to be an even larger secondary blast, which ended up killing, people in the vicinity of that explosion. So that's never good. And then this morning, the military confirmed that there was a airstrike at, actually this was, I think I wrote this yesterday. Did I write another one? Okay, so this was yesterday's. The U.S. military confirmed that there was an airstrike at the what's the acronym? It's like the HCAR or HCUR International Airport.
um,
HKIR.
like Kandahar.
No, it's HKIR, like HCAR. It's the Hamad Karzai International Airport in
Okay.
Kabul.
Yeah.
There are casualties. It's the same airport that when General McKenzie gave his statement last week about the 13 military members that had passed away, trying to help evacuate people. He said, we've got 5,000 people on the ramp at the HCUR airport waiting for transport. that airport is where these suicide bombers went to next. And I had said at the time, I said, why would he say that out loud? That's
Yeah.
just making a target for
Right.
these guys. Like, so, you know, and then apparently this morning there was another airstrike into a neighborhood, which that's never good. I mean,
Yeah.
you're just basically expecting casualties there. Um, you know, so it makes me wonder, like, did he say that because, you know, was he wanting to make,
What's going on? What are we doing? What are we hitting them? Are we hitting targets?
yeah, are we trying to make them targets?
Right.
So,
Quick, real quick on the screen here. I just have some pictures of me in Iraq when I went there first. You probably can't. So, I'm just gonna show a couple. So, like, this is in front of the police station that we manned, and I put a no parking sign out front of there.
yeah, okay. You don't want to go parking in a hole, that's
Well,
for sure.
It was supposed to be a fighting position for the Iraqis, but they don't fight really. By the way, these cars over here, that's the taxi cabs, the orange fenders.
Oh, okay.
So that's what those are. But yeah, they couldn't read the sign, so they're like, "What the hell's that? We don't care. This is our country. Get out of here." This is me burning the train pans, the poo in the morning. I was
Because
really
nothing
happy.
smells better.
Yeah, I was a staff sergeant, and I was taking on the duty of doing this while my guys went to go pick up chow.
Yeah,
This
pardon the pun.
this is the safe that we were supposed to blow so that we could um,
Get the hidden treasure?
get
I
the
mean,
hidden
like,
treasure in this. And so
what the hell?
I helped the EOD guys pull it out there and set it down. And I'm like, hey, can I do a detonator? Sure, yeah. So those are about the size of two little blocks there, about the size of a cigarette box there.
Yeah,
Uh,
it is.
you just put it on there, and when it explodes, it takes everything with it.
Yeah, I'd say so. Wow.
Yep, and that's what it did. And I was really close to it, and I shouldn't have been that close. It was really mind rocking. But there was a cassette player in there with a song from Elvis.
Oh, wow. That's what they had in there. All the worldly possessions
We got
that
it.
they could have put in there, but Elvis cassette goes in.
That's right, man. Elvis in there, just walking around through town. Uh, and the Iraqi police that we trained to be police officers and translator guy.
Okay.
So, and that's the buildings and the streets. Kids kind of wore shoes, sort of, kind of, mainly like slippers.
Yeah.
And then that's the sewer right
Yep.
there. That's the sewer line. So you don't want to fall down on the ground too much.
No, I mean, except for that poor kid in the red pants is like standing in the middle of it. Like, don't stand in the sewer line.
Yeah, well, we would be driving after somebody chasing him or something in the middle of the summer, and you'd run over that stuff, and we'd all duck in and cover our faces and stuff, and the Iraqi guys would be all, oh, very good, nice.
God, so disgusting.
You're like, "Whoa." That is a truckload of AKs, more than you'll ever see in the rest of your life.
Well, that's probably what they have now. So, okay.
Yeah, we hooked them up on some goodies. This is me with a bad idea of
Oh, God.
collecting a motorcycle. You can see that the neighbors are really
They're
happy.
all saying, they are all literally looking at me saying, this is such a bad idea,
Right?
dude. That
Totally.
other guy on where your pointer is, he's like, what the hell is this dude doing? He's an idiot.
I got the sunglasses off some guy selling them on the corner here.
God.
And so here I rode this stupid bike behind a Humvee with another Humvee right behind me with a tow rope. I don't think that's ever really been done before, but
Oh my God.
it was awesome. Hey, I got a lot of firsts, okay? When you're in Iraq, you got to make sure you finish a lot of those firsts on your deal there. This was Palmer, one of my soldiers.
Aw.
Little pet bird they had there, and the kids just loved her and thought that was cool.
Dear
This is
kids.
me and my buddy Ellie and my military police stuff. So,
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you for showing those.
yeah.
So, well, speaking of military buddies, um, as promised before, on a more somber note, on Thursday when the I get what was it called? I can't remember the gate. It was like the something gate over by I can't remember, and I'm so sorry I can't remember.
It's okay.
The
Yeah.
13 men and women that were lost
Yep.
because they were there to evacuate Americans and
Security there.
yeah, basically to get people out that were left behind enemy lines, which should never be done. I
Well,
know that you have specific knowledge of why that should never be done, but I want to go through this list really quick and at least, speak their names because I think that's important.
and can I just say real quick?
Mhm.
Rest in peace is RAP. RAP was done to abbreviate it because it was more expensive for people a long time ago to put down a tombstone. Please don't use RIP ever. Just it is to anyone. RIP for that. Rest in peace. Give them the dignity of the whole thing.
Yeah. So we have Army Staff Sergeant Brian I'm going to say it's Noss. He was 23 from Tennessee. Lance Corporal or U.S. Marine Lance Corporal Riley McCollum, 20 from Wyoming. Corporal Dagan Page, 23 from the Midwest and served out of Camp Pendleton. U.S. Navy Corpsman Maxton Soviak, 22 from Berlin Heights, Ohio. Marine Corps Corporal Hunter Lopez, 22, Indio, California. Marine Corps Lance Corporal Jared Schmitz, he was 20 out of Missouri. Marine Corps Sergeant Nicole Gee, 23, Sacramento. She's the one whose picture has been seen a lot, holding the babies, rescuing them, getting them out, and evacuating them. Marine Corps Staff Sergeant Darren T. Hoover, 31, from Salt Lake City, Utah. Marine Corps Lance Corporal Kareem Nakui, and I'm so sorry if I'm not saying that correctly, but the last part of the OUI is going to say we, because it sounds French to me. Marine Corps Staff, Marine Corps Sergeant Joanny Rosario Picardo, 25, out of Massachusetts. Marine Corps Corporal Humberto Sanchez, 22, from Indiana. Marine Corps Lance Corporal David Espinosa, 20, from Rio Bravo, Texas. And finally, Marine Corps Lance Corporal Dylan Marola, 20, from Rancho Cucamonga, California. And I want to point out that 5 of the 13 brave men and women that were killed that day doing their job, doing service to our country for our freedom, were not even old enough to order a beer in this country. And one of them, Riley McCollum, was expecting a baby in 3 weeks. He was just starting a family. These kids, which is what they were, had not even begun their lives, really. The oldest person on this list is 31 years old. And they were there to go help evacuate the people that this administration left behind.
Yep. The situation they were in is really a bad situation, but it does happen. And there has to be that soldier or airman or person. It has to be the front person that goes out there and puts hands on people and checks them. It's a hard job. We did it all the time in Iraq with the police station and people coming in and out. And I would take a lot of those at nighttime jobs or nighttime shifts, or if I had the day shift. Got in a little bit of trouble. You see some things that look like they might be a IED or something that dropped, or somebody would leave a bunch of stuff in a bag right there. And if you call it EOD, they come and shut everything down, and it takes forever for them to get the robot out and move it, and just go over and take it, fling it out into the canal, be done with it.
Mm.
So you do that, you get in trouble. But
Right.
I've done it a couple times.
Right. So for these 13 military members' families, I want to say thank you for giving us your children. And I am sorry for your loss. And I hope that you find some form of peace during your time of grief, and that they will wear their heroes' wings proudly, because they were doing their job where they were rescuing people. And
I'd just like to point something out. They were doing their job, and
that's not what they signed up to do.
they signed up to be in dangerous places, do dangerous things. It's just that the situation they were put in it was FUBAR'd from the get-go. It shouldn't have been that way. It was extremely, extremely poorly run, and it was a cleanup mission.
Right.
I'd just like to point out, though, that I watched some idiots in the congressional hearing about a month ago crying about one day of being at the Capitol building and how it was a rough day.
Yeah.
Tell that to those people.
Yeah. Exactly.
They don't know what a rough day is.
No, they don't. And they compared that day to 9/11, and I was infuriated with that comparison myself. So that was so insulting. So I can only imagine,
I was
you
livid.
know,
I was livid.
when I can only imagine.
One day.
So
One frickin' day.
one day, and there are men who've gone and done. I mean, is there a maximum of how many tours you can go do?
Usually you do 6 to 8 months or a year at a time. Maybe a year and 2 months at the most. But you can only do so many in a 4-year period of time. So much
Okay.
time.
So you can only spend 4 years.
Well, you could spend only a certain like for 9/11, we were deployed for 9 months, and so that meant in that 4-year period, I can only be deployed for another year and 3 months,
Mhm.
and so that's what happened there. And
Okay.
so that's how that's yeah, it can only be deployed for so long, so they have to try and split it up as best they can for those things.
Well, I guess what I'm asking is, like, what is the maximum number of times somebody can go and serve? Like, let's say there was Iraqi Freedom first,
There's no
or
maximum.
Desert Storm, Iraqi Freedom, all those different wars that we've had in your active duty. How many times can you be deployed?
You could be
before they say
deployed
you're
over
done?
and over and over again. People would get home and only be home for 6, 9 months, and then get activated again. You could volunteer for it. Yeah, we were really running the military ragged with this stuff.
Yeah. I mean, my daughter's father's dad worked for, I'm trying to think he worked on base. I can't remember if it was CENTCOM or SOCOM, but he was in whichever one has to have the guy with the codes in the briefcase. So I'm going to go with that's going to be CENTCOM, right? Or no, SOCOM.
I'm gonna say CENTCOM.
Okay.
Yeah.
But at that point in time in his career, he was the guy with the briefcase, and he said, um, if we're having dinner and somebody in a uniform shows up and says, "You've got to, I've got to go," I just have to go, and we're all like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
And he's like, "And you can't ask questions because I can't answer them," and we're all like, "Oh, okay."
You can ask them.
Yeah, he just can't answer them.
Yeah.
So to be in that kind of dynamic, knowing at that point we were in the middle of, I think, the Gulf War, that would have been 2000, 1999, 2000 ish,
Probably
98, 99, 2000.
it was the first Gulf War. Yeah. The Bush senior. Yeah.
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 So, I mean,
Yeah.
that wasn't very fun.
Nope.
But on a lighter note, I did get the opportunity to send a message to Dylan Marola's brother. He was the one that he was the last of the 13 to be identified. And I mean, this kid just looks so happy to be, enlisted and serving and going. And the high school he went to isn't apparently too far from you, Chris, actually. And
Rancho the Rancho Cucamonga
well,
one.
he's the one that went to that
Osos. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, went to that high school.
Yeah.
And they, at the Friday night football game, they honored him by everybody wearing red, white, and blue. And but no, I sent a private message to his brother, and I said, I know several combat veterans. If you need to talk to gain a better understanding of what your brother was enduring over there, I'm happy to connect you, because unless you're in it, you don't know what they're going through. And that kind of segues into my next little kind of thing, because it was brought up in the voice chat for Steinbart Media Group. There are people right now that are kind of just waking up to everything happening, that are where I was in March of last year,
Right.
going, "Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, the sky is falling, the sky is
How do
falling."
I simulate this?
Right. How do I fix this split, this fracture that has now happened,
Right.
from knowing everything before was a lie, and now here I am and have to reconcile that with what I know now is true.
Yep.
That's really hard, and that's really devastating to learn.
To learn that 9/11 was an orchestrated event by the United States government should be absolutely crushing.
Yeah.
To know that the whole Libya was an orchestrated thing, the whole Iraq was an orchestrated thing, the whole Syrian things, it's all orchestrated. And Obama took over for Bush, and he changed what was going on. He did some bad things, man, really bad things, and it's never what it seems. It's like it's the threat of domestic terrorism happening over this 20-year anniversary is not because red-blooded Americans want to do something. It's because they want to create a situation that takes more rights away from red-blooded Americans.
Right.
And it's all Americans.
Right. It is. And I mean, if they're saying we can't gather in groups, well, that would include school board meetings, or groups to go protest, the school board's ability to mask our kids or force vaccines upon kids, all of those things. It precludes, or it makes it that those things are not allowed to happen under that Homeland Security statement.
Yeah.
so it kind of pigeonholes everybody into basically a lockdown in a sense.
Right. I think that
And
we should probably set an episode aside to go over what's coming and what our future holds, and go over some stuff from the past to kind of set the picture straight, because it's way more than we can get into right now.
yeah, and I don't even know how long we've been going at this point. I mean, I pretty much have covered my list.
Yeah.
And I don't even know. I have to look at my phone to see
It
where we
says
got.
7
we got-
days, 24 minutes. No. I'm not sure.
I am looking right now to see. My phone's like low battery, charge me.
Whoa, battery. It says 2 hours and 30 minutes.
Oh my gosh, really?
It's been 2 hours. Yep, it's about 2 hours and a dot. So,
Wow, okay. Well, I'm trying to get to make the actual video pop out.
do, 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 do.
Okay, so there's that. Oh, there, pop that out. That out. Okay. Well, the good news is no one's watching us right now. It's just us.
Yeah, I think that this something's going on with the stream.
My.
It's saying the stream's live 14 minutes and 43 seconds. So I don't know if the restream has a certain period of time and it cuts it off or something like that, but it should be interesting.
Yeah, definitely it should. I don't know. Well, on our Twitch channel, which is linked down below, you can see our schedule and kind of what our topics or our themes will be kind of every day. You know, it's kind of super flexible right now because we're trying to figure out timings, with Chris being 3 hours behind me. There will be some days where we'll do like a later night show, like tomorrow, maybe we'll do a later night show versus having you do an early morning before you do George Webb's show. And then, you know, Fridays we'll do a morning show and then like a later night show, maybe have some special guests come on. Saturdays we'll do some like just let loose and maybe go do some rating on Twitch, which is always fun. So
Yep.
to find my DJ friends.
Yep.
And stuff like that. So it only gets better from here as we figure out more things. And we hope you guys will join us again for our next stream.
Yep. Thank you. And have a good day.
Yes, have a great rest of your day.
See something, say something.